What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit croaky, but we got some cool cards from OP-11 that we need to have a chat about. We got a couple of new super rares we need to talk about that are particularly good. We have a character making their debut in the One Piece TCG, but let's start off with a character we've seen a million times before. We've got Charlotte Pudding. It's really, really good. We got 1 cost, 0 power, counter plus 1,000. None of that is good, nobody really cares. But on play, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a 2 cost or higher Big Mum Pirates character, put it into your hand, put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. So it is your classic generic searcher, with the caveat that it's only 2 cost or higher. That's very important. You cannot go and get a 1 cost here. Is that a big deal? I don't think it is. But just bear in mind it has to be 2 cost or higher. But then we've got an activate main, Don -1, rest this character, look at the top card of your opponent's deck. Now, looking at the top card of your opponent's deck is fun. That's a big advantage. It means that you can look to see what they're going to get next. You can start making some guesses as to what they're going to be going for. You actually end up with more information than your opponent. This is pretty good. But we're not talking about just randomly looking at the top card of your opponent's deck here. We're talking specifically in the context of Charlotte Katakuri decks. Because Charlotte Katakuri also has a skill whereby once during either player's turn, when you're attacking or when your opponent's attacking, Don -1, look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and then this leader gains 1,000 power. Cool. The thing is, Charlotte Pudding here gives you either a second chance to look, or allows you to use some of these other cards outside of a Katakuri deck. So take Charlotte Lin, for instance. It's one of those cards whereby you have to declare a cost. And then you look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and if the cost you declared is actually the cost that you see from the character on the top of the deck, it's an activate main once per turn Don -5, of course, then you get an extra 2,000 power, which is awesome on your leader for the turn. 2,000 power on your leader for the turn. Clearly a ridiculous skill. But you need to know what's on top of your deck. And you can now do that either with Charlotte Katakuri, your leader, or you can do it with this Lin. There is an argument that actually we're doubling up here, and we don't really need this skill because we've already got the skill on your Katakuri leader. Fair point. There's also an argument that a generic searcher should not be a super rare card. Also a fair point. But there is a lot to like here. This is a very cool card. And as we've talked about a million times recently, Don -1 in purple is not like it was in the first couple of sets. Now, I promised you 2 super rares. I've only given you 1 so far. How about Helmeppo? 6 cost, 7,000 power, no counter. And what you do is trash a card from your hand. You then draw a card, so you are replacing that card. You have to trash before you draw, which is annoying. But you do still get to replace that card, which is nice. And then you get to play a character card with the sword trait that is 8 cost or less, other than Helmeppo, from your trash. Now, at the end of this turn, you have to put the character that you summoned back to the owner's deck, acting back to the bottom, and this does a couple of things. Firstly, it gets character back into your deck, which might be useful, but it also takes it out of your trash to essentially stop you playing Helmeppo multiple turns in a row and continually reusing the same character. So maybe there's a small upside here, but really this is the game basically saying, you know what? You don't get to do this over and over. You're not going to just keep recycling the same character. You get it from your trash, but then it goes back to the bottom of your deck, so it's not in your trash. And this is another one of those where we just haven't seen very many sword cards yet. I mean, we've seen Peacock. That's quite cool. But of course, it is worth noting, Peacock does actually have an on-play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Navy, and put it into your hand. So you could use Helmeppo to recover Peacock, play Peacock, use the on-play skill to go and search a Navy card. That would actually work quite nicely. That would be an option, which is kind of weird, but yeah. But I think most of the things here, we're looking at Kobe. Like, we're looking at the secret rare Kobe. Sword character, 8 cost or less. Well, usual rule is, if I can grab an 8 cost or less, ideally I want an 8 cost, because that's giving me the maximum possible value from a skill like this. So if I can have an 8 cost or less, give me an 8 cost. 8 cost sword, what do we got? Secret rare Kobe. And secret rare Kobe is Redonk. First of all, do remember that Leader Kobe says that your sword characters can attack characters on the turn that they're played. That's kind of brilliant. But also, Secret Rare Kobe has an on-play that lets one of your characters attack active characters during this turn. So you can either use Helmeppo to play Kobe, and then Leader Kobe says you can attack characters this turn, and you say, well, I myself can attack active characters this turn, and then you're just playing a 9 cost that can attack active characters for a turn. Oh, and actually, when attacking, put 2 cards in the trash at the bottom of your deck in any order to give your leader or one of your characters a 1k bump. All of this will work within the 1 turn you get it from Helmeppo. Or you can let this Kobe just attack characters and give someone else the chance to attack rested characters. This seems to be the best option for this. Now, obviously, we need to see the other characters. We've not seen many sword characters. This gets sword characters back. And really, I'm looking at this specifically in a Kobe deck, purely because Kobe says your sword characters can attack on the turn they're played, as long as they attack characters, and you're only getting these back for a turn and then they go away. But in the context of a Kobe deck, this looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, a card which isn't particularly great on the face of it, but might actually end up being really good, depending, but at least gives us lots of information here. Vinsmoke Reiju. 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 2,000. The counter plus 2k is actually brilliant. And then on play, if your leader is Vinsmoke family, then look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Germa character, put it into your hand, and then trash the rest. Now, most of the time, these generic searchers put the cards at the bottom of your deck. This trashing is better here. Because remember, if we go back to OP-06, and this seems like pretty obvious Vinsmoke Reiju support, remember that was a blue and purple deck, but we basically just got purple Germa cards in OP-06. So this is essentially giving us the blue side of it, but we had a bunch of pairs of Germa cards in purple. So if we take Reiju herself, we have a 2 cost that says, activate main, Dom -1, trash this character. If your leader has Germa 66, play a Vinsmoke Reiju with a cost of 4 from your hand or trash. And then, of course, we had a 4 cost in the set to use as well. We've not really seen blue Germa like that. It's just not been a thing. We had this weird dual-type leader, which didn't need to really be a dual-type leader. Like, I've just gone onto the official card finder on the official website and searched for Germa. There is exactly 1 Germa character that's blue. Exactly 1. It's Promo Sanji, if anybody's forgotten. That's it. That's literally it. So, Reiju being dual type was kind of a bit, Don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of blue cards that are good and all of that, but it always makes me sad when we've got a clearly like a tribal leader here. It's clearly supposed to be a Germa deck, and it's blue and purple, but we've only got purple Germa cards, really. Well, here, this is basically telling us, hey, OP-11's got some more Germa 66 cards. That sounds kind of fun. Obviously, it's only for Vinsmoke family leaders, so it means at the moment it's for Reiju. And remember, we know all the leaders from OP-11. We know it's not an OP-11. We definitely only have 1 leader here, so this is pretty explicit support for your Reiju from OP-06. And I'm just telling you, maybe there's going to be a bunch more, and that would be kind of fun. The character making their debut, incidentally, here We are talking about Briscola. Yay! It's got blocker. There's no other translation needed. It's just got blocker. Is it any good? I don't know, maybe. 2 cost, 2,000 power, Animal Kingdom Pirates or Smile blocker. It's fine, it's a cheap blocker for Animal Kingdom Pirate decks that can use black cards. Not all of them, unfortunately, can. Sorry about that. But if you're looking for an Animal Kingdom Pirate deck that's allowed to use black, this is a nice cheap blocker. Which incidentally means king. That's literally all we get here. All we get is king, the king that came around in OP-08. That is the only black Animal Kingdom Pirate leader we've had so far. So, yeah, let's just focus in on that one, shall we? And look, it's a cheap blocker for that deck. If you want to play that deck and you're looking for a cheap blocker, yay. That's about all we've got here. But it is kind of notable that Briscola gets their first card. And apparently it's a dude with a gorilla for a fist. Because that's apparently a thing. Cool. Sounds like fun. So there we go. Couple new secret rares. And a character making their debut. And then, you know, we even threw in a little bit of Reiju as well. Because that's actually pretty relevant. So there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these cards in the comment section. Go nuts as always, but do remember, be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.